What's up, everybody? It's Man of Low Moral Fiber here. My name's Luke, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Stomper as part of my Does It Suck series. The Stomper is a unique Jakobs assault rifle with a unique critical hit damage modifier. We'll see there on the card that it lists that at 72%, and we'll get back to that in just a minute. Has a fire rate of 11.3, but you probably won't reach that in practice because the weapon is semi-automatic. Has a magazine size of 15, and it fires exactly like you would expect it to. Straight down the middle with a heavy amount of recoil. Now, this particular weapon has this special critical hit damage modifier that does function differently than it does on other Jakobs assault rifles, like the Hammerbuster or Becca. And the way it functions actually works adversely with certain skills like Headshot and others that boost critical hit damage. That is to say, if the weapon had the traditional Jakobs critical hit modifier, it would actually perform better. So we're going to use it here on the test dummy just to give you a look at the damage it does. If we compare it here to the Hammerbuster, we can see that the base damage really isn't comparable among the two weapons, with the Hammerbuster being significantly higher. If we get a shot off here with the Stomper, we can see that it does 1566k, whereas the Hammerbuster would do 2119k if we don't get the rising shot there. So that's pretty good for the Hammerbuster, but bad news for the Stomper. Being that the Hammerbuster wasn't an incredibly spectacular weapon when we tested it, and it was vastly inferior to the Becca, it will stand to reason that the Stomper is going to be a pretty poor weapon because the Hammerbuster was good but not great by any means, and being that the Stomper is basically a significantly worse version of the Hammerbuster, it would stand to reason that there's a high probability that the Stomper is going to suck. I haven't really ever used it because there's never really been a need to, so maybe I'm passing judgment too quickly, but we're going to see what happens here. We'll go ahead and take a look at the one-shot, one-kill damage of the weapon here. Coming out of Deception at close to the very end of Deception, you would expect a Jakobs assault rifle to perhaps do a little bit more damage than that, because that wasn't truly spectacular. If the weapon was capable of achieving one-shot, one-kills, it could possibly be good with zero, but the fact that it doesn't do that really hurts its viability kind of as a weapon that relies on high critical hit damage. So we'll go ahead and get ready to try to survive here. This guy spawned right behind me, which was unadvantageous, but we'll go ahead and try to get a one-shot, one-kill on him. Seems like the reload speed on this weapon isn't huge, but it is something you have to keep in mind, and it could actually keep you from getting one-shot, one-kills at certain times. The weapon is pretty accurate, but at range, the recoil is going to make it harder to manage, and that's something that you do have to watch out for. Go ahead and try to knock that guy's arm off. As you can see, these enemies are kind of ganging up on me right now. I'm having a little bit of trouble actually killing some of these guys because the weapon doesn't really have the stopping power that I would like it to. See if we can't use the one-shot, one-kill power to knock this guy out. So we were finally able to kill another guy there, which is good. But we still have quite a few guys left down here who are regenerating some health and now have less critical hit spots than they originally had. And so that actually doesn't work out in our favor either. Again, the one-shot, one-kill damage on the gun loader there was rather unspectacular. Need those transfusion trails coming in. Looks like we also got a hot loader coming up, and that's not any good for us either. Took out the hot loader, or not the hot loader, the R loader. As you can see though, the Stomper is leaving me in some bad positions right now. It is not doing well at all. We'll go ahead and finish off the hot loader real quick, and then we'll try to kill these guys back here. I am almost out of transfusion grenades at this point, which again is another thing that doesn't bode incredibly well for this weapon. Maybe if I try to spam bore on those hip joints, you'll see me get some lucky bore action that might actually help us kill some enemies here. So that could be a good thing theoretically, but you shouldn't really have to rely on bore if a weapon doesn't suck, which I would say that this weapon actually does. The fact that I'm having so much trouble killing even the initial enemies here in the Washburn Refinery does not really bode well for the weapon. This weapon is actually inferior to purple Jakobs assault rifles of, the same level and stuff like that because of the way that the critical hit damage modifier does work. We'll go ahead and try to kill a couple more enemies, probably working our way to that badass enemy, but I think it's pretty, easy to call that this weapon does kind of suck. If there's only one enemy like that, I guess we're able to get a kill on it, but as the enemies pile up and I have to take cover, it becomes a little bit more difficult to use this weapon. The heavy recoil isn't something I find super attractive anyway. It can be managed though, but, it's just something that this weapon doesn't excel at. So, we're going to move on to this badass loader now and see if we're able to kill him. And maybe we'll take on the next room as well, but I think it's pretty obvious that this weapon sucks. I would say that it sucks. Definitely no reason to use it over a non-unique counterpart, and definitely no reason to use it at all when the Hammerbuster, or even more so, the Becca exists. There's actually no reason to use the Hammerbuster when the Becca exists in my mind. So I think we're going to run into some issues killing this badass here. Try to get a one-shot, one-kill on him here in the eye. And try to take him out here before these rockets come. So we were able to kill him, but as you can see, it did take a significant amount of time. I will leave a link in the description to a thread I found that kind of detailed the critical hit damage of the Stomper in case you want to look into it further. It's just, a weapon that does not bode well. Or a weapon that does not function well. It seems like if they were going to give it a critical hit modifier that was unique, they could have at least made sure that the way they made it function was beneficial to the weapon as opposed to adversely affecting the weapon's potential. Alright. I had pretty good aim there to hit the critical spot on the backloader, and I was able to use Bore to kill him there. We'll see if we're able to maybe stop this loader here, knock him over, or at least disable him a little bit. And we weren't able to knock him down. I'll try again here with this loader. We'll have a little bit more time. Yeah, so we were able to knock that one down. And when we did that, then we were able to get Bore on him and kill him. So I guess that was good, but it's not something you'll be able to do on every loader, most likely. Go ahead and kill that one there. Looks like we have a power loader, a bull loader, and a gun loader. And we'll see if we're able to somehow figure out a way to deal with this situation. Excellent. So we killed the power loader, but that will cause another loader to spawn, and if it's a loader that has a weapon, a ranged weapon, we might not be in as good a spot as if that power loader was still alive, but, who knows? We'll see. Luckily, it ended up being an exploder, and so that's pretty good for us, actually. I didn't remember knocking that gun loader down, but it's a good thing that he is knocked down, because that makes him a little bit easier for us to deal with. Killer helped me reload there, and then I was actually able to take out that gun loader pretty quickly, so that was good stuff. I guess when I have Killer activated and it is boosted by my comm, that does help the weapon quite a bit, but it's hard to get consecutive kills with this weapon because it is so poor. Well, I keep missing with my grenade there. That's not helping my cause at all. I guess our loaders don't have hip joint critical spots. That's a little bit weird that they don't have that, and it makes them more difficult to kill once you've actually knocked off their arms. So I'll use my deception on him, try to knock him out, because I know I can use the hip joints on the bull loader if I truly need them. Or at least I thought I could. There we go. So they're there, but they appear to be harder to hit than your traditional gun loader, so I'm just going to go for the eye here as this badass loader spawns in. Excellent. So now we have no grenades left, so I'll run forward to grab one that I know dropped from an enemy there. Hopefully this guy is still slagged and I can knock off his arms. Probably wasn't wise to use my only transfusion grenade there. I could have saved that for when I actually needed heals and slagged him with my Pimpernel, but we're going to end up finishing him off here, hopefully. Haha, barely killed him there before he ended up killing me. So I'm going to run back here and just grab a few transfusion grenades if they are available. I don't know if we really need to progress any further in this map, but I'll go a little bit further. I almost kind of enjoy using this bad weapon. I don't know why, but we're going to try to make it at least to Hyperion's room. If I fail, it's because this weapon is indeed pretty sucky. But we're going to give it a shot, why not? Blow up some barrels before we get started here. We're going to have to play very to extremely cautiously with this weapon in this room because this is the hardest of the rooms, and we may definitely run into some issues here. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and open my escape route. That gun loader has a Torg weapon, so we're definitely going to try to knock that arm off. I'm going to concentrate more on killing one loader at a time here because once their arms are knocked off, they become harder to kill with the smaller critical hit vulnerable spots. And because of that, with a weapon that I really need to rely on critical hits to kill with, it's actually hurting me a little bit as they regenerate health. Another strong Torg weapon it looks like back there, so we'll try to deal with that. Potential for bore there, so I'll go ahead and try to take those shots. Excellent. So I was able to use the stairs there to block the eye blast a little bit, but then I got caught in a bad position where this guy was wailing on me. So I'll try to get the transfusion trails coming. Never really been caught up on those stairs before. It's a shame that my initial transfusion blast didn't end up slagging that guy because that would have been really helpful. But now I did what I said I wasn't going to do here and get multiple enemies into the eye blast range, but it's alright. Go ahead and finish this guy off. Alright, so there are going to be a few more enemies here in this room. Looks like we got a hot loader back there. Luckily the spawn we're getting right now isn't incredibly difficult to deal with because this weapon would definitely be having trouble with that. But because the game's being a little easy on us, we're actually able to make it through this room. As I say that, the dude with the Torg weapon is dealing some massive damage to me, so that was bad news. But we'll knock that arm off, and hopefully the transfusion grenades will come to us, but it doesn't look like they want to right now, so we'll need to get some more of those coming in. Try to get my one-shot, one-kill off. Excellent. An exploder back there. He won't be too difficult to deal with, but this guy seems to have a decent fire rate, so we're going to need to deal with him. Cool, 2 exploders. Hopefully they both deal with themselves. Ooh, wow. Sometimes exploders, when they jump, they won't go through their explosion animation, which makes them a lot more dangerous and a lot more explosive, if you will. That really irritated me there, that guy decided to jump at the exact wrong angle for me to get a good shot on him there, and so that was bad news. I'm going to retreat here to get a few transfusion grenades. Like I said, we're going to have to play extremely slowly and cautiously as we work through this. Luckily, the game gave me 0 grenades there. That's really nice and very helpful. Missed my one-shot, one-kill out of deception there, so that was bad news. The recoil of this weapon does make it especially difficult to aim at range. Cool. I like that he didn't drop a transfusion for us either. It would only be nice if it did, though. Alright. We'll go ahead and use Deception to get the extra death mark damage on this guy, because we're definitely going to need it with this weapon, which is bad. Gonna need slag to finish him off most likely, so we'll go ahead and acquire that. And we get another kunai volley in the meantime as well. Cool. Looks like we have one more junk loader and one more power loader to work through here. Power loader doesn't want to play nicely. That's alright, we'll finish him off. Cool. So, as you can see, the Stomper definitely sucks. Sure, I was able to make it through the Washburn Refinery with it, but it's bad. It's really bad. There's literally no reason to use this weapon. A purple Jakobs Assault Rifle would be a better option. The Hammerbuster would be a much better option. And the Becca would be the only Jakobs Assault Rifle that I would actually recommend using, because the rest of them are really lackluster in comparison to her. But the Stomper does indeed suck. It's really bad. I used it here just because I was kind of enjoying using this really poor weapon and having to play in a certain way. But it's a bad gun, and there's really no reason to ever use it. So as always, guys, I thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you haven't yet taken the time to subscribe, please do so. Otherwise, I do hope to catch you next time. Bye, guys.